Hey, good morning everybody. It's Wednesday, June 23rd, 2021, and I am going out into the garden. It's a beautiful day here in New York. It is, I think it's in the 50s right now. It's very strange. Next week it'll be in the 80s. But yeah, it got really cold last night, so let's see what's going on in the garden today. Well, the flower hedgerow is getting a little out of control. Got a lot of these ferns. I don't know where they came from. It's probably a natural fern in the area. There's some violas and some shiso that self-pollinated itself. Well, actually, self-pollinating means self-pollinated. Anyway, yeah, got a lot of shiso comes up here, and I trim it back. We clip these leaves off. They're really delicious. And some wildflowers growing here. Among the plants that I sowed, where there's some red poppies. And this is the Echinacea that I saved seeds from last year, and I just sprinkled them all over the place, which was probably a mistake because, I mean, look how many Echinacea cone flowers I have coming up. It's going to look really nice. The only problem is they're growing really tall and it's shading my containers. So I have a couple of peppers in there and a couple of peppers in this one that one of them is doing decently, but you know, these Echinacea are really shading it out. This is the baby Bubba okra. Somebody's eating it. Not sure who. And I've been trying to use diatomaceous earth and some neem oil, but it's been raining every day, so sometimes I forget to reapply it. So hopefully they'll do okay. They're growing really nice. Some more flowers back here. Don't know what they are. Pretty white flowers. There's some nice pink ones. Purple. Really nice. Nice flowers. A little out of control, but you know, maybe I'll see how it looks this year. Next year I'll try to organize it a little bit. I'd like it to be wild, but it's a little too wild. And there's my sweet potatoes in the container. They're doing okay. They're starting to vine up a little bit. So, you know, next week, like I said, it's going to be in the 80s, and you know, it's only June, so we have July and August, really hot months here in New York, Zone 7B, and they should start really growing. Here's my fig, which is doing nicely, growing. Don't see any figlets yet. So, you know, it's only the second year I've had it, so should be okay. This is the cilantro that's starting to go to seed now. Get some nice flowers. I'm leaving the flowers here for the bees and the pollinators. But yeah, so we'll harvest some of those seeds. Here's the container zucchini. We had one that had a flower on it, but I don't think it pollinated. I hand pollinated this one because all I had was female flowers, and I borrowed a male from my neighbor's garden, which was a different variety, but I might have pollinated a little too late. So, and now we got all male flowers. Go figure. This is a white courgette, white eggplant, white zucchini that I purchased from a garden center in England about 2 years ago, and this guy's growing really nice. I got him trained up this trellis, and there's one courgette right there. It's a nice size one. I hand pollinated that also, and that seems to be okay. Another little girl over here, and what I did was I built this not such a great trellis, just going across with some 1x2s, and I'm training it to go across here, so I'll let it go across above the peppers that are in containers, and peppers are doing okay. I'll show you the one that seems like it's getting eaten more than the others, which is really interesting. It seems like whatever's eating it, which is probably slugs, doesn't seem to like the Echinacea. It loved the Anaheim. That's an Anaheim? It was an Anaheim. The jalapeno is doing okay. This is a Jimmy Nardello. That's doing fine. Another Jimmy Nardello. This is a yellow Corno di Toro, and this one is getting eaten. But the red Corno di Toro is not. Very interesting. So let me show you this. This is really interesting here. There's a ginger that I have growing in a grow bag, and that's doing nice. Needs some more hot weather though. There's the golden zucchini. I got two of them. One of them looks very odd. In fact, looks like it kind of split open over here, so maybe we might lose that one. But we got another small one over here, and we got some more male flowers. These tomatoes looked like this. Let me show you. I had a bunch of starts that I never really got to plant, the Tiffin Mennonite. I mean, they're still alive, but they're like dying. These are cherub tomatoes. So what I did was I took these and I planted them over here, and look how they're growing. It's amazing. I mean, tomatoes are very vigorous and very strong. Look at that. There's a couple of sweet potatoes I threw in here. I don't know where I got them from. I dug them out of the garden. Maybe I planted a sweet potato last year and it didn't work. This is the, I don't know if it's an Idaho potato, but it was one that we had in the house, and I stuck it in the garbage can, trash can. And that's doing really nicely, as are these potatoes. Sorry about the noise. Oh, look at this. I mean, these potatoes are really growing good. So hopefully, I held them up once, and hopefully we'll get some nice potatoes first time. Those two tomatoes, which I don't know what they are doing great. This is the butternut squash that were grown here last year. I bought the plants last year and harvested the seeds. So these seeds I planted from what we harvested last year, and they're growing nice. I'm trying to train them out over that wood pile. There's another one growing down here. And these are all the experiment tomatoes. Some that I saved from seeds last year that are doing nice, and some that are unknown. And that's the sweet potatoes in the bed that are doing nicely. Here's a nice vine getting ready to go out. So we'll let them sprawl all over the place. And here's some more squash and tomatoes that I had, like these ones over here. So I just stuck them in the ground. I put some compost down, a little bit of manure, planted the tomatoes and zucchinis, and then I just covered it with wood chips. And they're doing okay. I don't know if they're going to get enough time to get big or not, but you know, we may get a few tomatoes. And this is my Lady Godiva squash. I'm training it out here so it can go along the yard, because this baby's going to get big. And so far I don't see any pumpkins on it, but you know, it's got a lot of flower points. Oh, actually there's one right there. There we go. First one. Cool. So yeah, and then the butternut squash is going to come out here hopefully. Here's the tomatoes. So like I said, they're growing nicely. We got some, I don't know what type they are. It could be the Castelluto Genovese, possibly. And these might be Tommy Toes. I don't know if you can see them or not. It's kind of dark in there. Yeah, there it goes. Pretty cool. So they're going up nice. I have them on like a Florida weave, a semi-Florida weave. And then let's go into the main garden. Here's the burdock root, the gobo. It's really big leaves. I don't know when it's going to come out of the out of the box, but the leaves are getting bigger. So this is the main tomato trellis. These guys are really doing good. I come by every couple of days and pull out some suckers. There's one here. Pull this guy out. Let's see, what is this? This is the sunray, and we actually have some tomatoes on it. So that's nice. I don't know if they were getting pollinated by any bees or anything, so I would come by every once in a while and just give them a little tap, pollinate them, hand pollinate them. And then these guys here, I think these are the oh, I forgot what they call them, but look at all those tomatoes. It might be the idli or ildi, not idli. Idli is something you eat. Well, actually, tomatoes are something you eat too. So anyway, what we got here? We got a Paul Robeson. This is the first year I'm growing this, and these guys are looking really nice. So it looks like everything's getting pollinated, either by bugs or by me. Some more Paul Robeson. This is a Tiffin Mennonite. I'm just gonna pull that sucker off over there. And Tiffin Mennonite, we have some fruit on there. And let's see, what do we got here? This is the Ildi. Yeah, there must be an Ildi over there. Look at all those tomatoes on that. Oh my God, look at this. That is going to be a lot of tomatoes. I grew these last year and they weren't so productive. We got a few tomatoes. They're small, like a yellow tomato, kind of orangey yellow, sort of like a grape tomato. Richard Perkins mentioned that he grows these, so I said, you know what, if he can grow them, let me try it. So that's what I'm doing. Here's the Black Beauties. We got one, we got two, another one there. So the Black Beauties are starting, which is good. I did see a lot of unpollinated tomato buds here. You can see that. So, you know, oh, there's a Black Beauty. Look at that. Hey, my first Black Beauty this year. And then, oops. Then when we come down here, this is the part of the garden that gets really wet. And it seems like the tomatoes get smaller and smaller, the plants. So we may not get much from this end of the garden. We'll have to see. And this is a San Marzano over here. You can see that teardrop shaped tomato. So we'll go down to the end, and there's San Marzanos over here that are getting a little bit bigger. And what do we got here? This is the Black from Tula. This one's really tiny. Got some tomatoes here, so I think we'll be okay. You know, like I said, the weather's going to get really warm in the next couple of days. But I do have a Black from Tula over here. It's got a lot of flowers. Let me see if I see any tomatoes. There's a nice tomato. Look at that. And this one, no good. So that's a nice tomato right there, Black from Tula. First year growing that. Got another one here, starting. So yeah, tomatoes are looking good. That's another Black from Tula plant. There's another container with a Corno di Toro in it. And I pulled out a lot of my garlic, but I think I may start pulling out the rest of the ones down here because this is really damp. And we got some nice garlic. The cloves were kind of small in this area, but I'm happy so far with the garlic. Here's the cucumbers that are starting to produce. So I'm trying to get them up this trellis. There we go. Got some more over here. This guy wants to go sideways, but I want you to go up. Okay. Let's go up the trellis. Thank you. There we go. All right, and we got some cucumbers on here, little tiny babies. So that's going nicely. The eggplants, these ones are the really scrawny ones that I just stuck in the ground, but they're starting to grow. We'll see if we get any fruit. We got some flowers. We'll see if we get fruit off these guys. These are the Japanese jade. They're looking really nice. Starting to pop out a flower. And then there's another one there. And then these are the Chinese string eggplants. It's a really long eggplant, long purple eggplant. And then we have the Aswad eggplants. So they're all growing nicely. Didn't have much problems with the flea beetles, as you see here. So the leaves are pretty big. I think that will be okay, even though they're eating the leaves here. Last year, every leaf was like this and even worse. They looked like doilies. There was so many holes in them. And it took almost all summer for them to start to grow, and then by the time they started producing, it was getting cool out. So this year I think will be okay. And here's the garlic. This is the Carpathian that I pulled out a few already. You can see how damp that soil is. And I haven't had the drip on in probably almost a month. Just the rain. I mean, look at this. So I've been pulling these guys out. They got nice bulbs on them, and we'll eat them right away. They won't store if you pull them out and they're not ready to be pulled out. So these guys here are a little bit better. They're on the higher end, so they're not getting as wet. That's the German, what is that? German Extra Hardy. So these are nice big garlic bulbs. Now, let's see. I think my sister's coming up from Florida tomorrow. So I think I'm going to pull out some carrots for her, because she's never seen this kind of stuff before. We've got some mochums that are ready to go. And let's see, we have the Long Rouge Sang over here. And these, I believe, are ready to go, because I pulled a couple out already. They're kind of, actually these are the, I keep mixing things up. These are the, what the heck are they called? The Parisienne. That's the Parisienne. So let's switch this. Parisienne goes here. And Long Rouge Sang, which Long Rouge, red, goes here. And as you can see, that's a red carrot. It's a red carrot. So, you know, I did pretty good with the labeling. I just put them in the wrong spot. So, yeah, so I'm going to pull a lot of carrots. Got some bush beans over here that are starting to produce. Those are nice flat Italian beans. The Mizuna, I'm going to probably pull some out for salads along with the kale. It's doing okay. I mean, so far, slugs haven't eaten all my kale. The last 2 years, they destroyed my kale. These are the soybeans that are doing nicely. In fact, we're getting some, looks like they're starting to get some pods, but maybe not. But they're growing nice, so I'm happy. This is my Romanesco over here. And so far, the cabbage moths haven't eaten it all. I don't know whether it's forming a head or not. It never grew Romanesco. It looks like something's forming here with the leaves. So we'll hope that we can get, I only planted 2. Hopefully we can get 1, but 2 would be nice. The favas are pretty much done, so I'm going to harvest those probably today. The beets still have not grown, so it's the same thing as last year. I planted them in the autumn. I mean, not the autumn. In the early spring, when it was nice and cool, they grew, but not much, and then they kind of just stay like this. And last year they stayed like this all the way through the summer, and then towards the end of the summer, they started producing. So these are the Tokyo long bunching onions that I planted. I sowed some seeds here, and there's interplanted with some leftover pepper plants and leftover eggplants, and some cilantro that I sowed about 2 weeks ago. Those are doing nice. These are the Romano beans. Look at that. That's a beautiful flat Italian bean. I just wish I had a lot more. I don't know why. I guess I just need to plant all the bean seeds. But these are nice. These are the Dulcina, I think, or that's the Flagrano. That's over here. And then there's Dulcina. Not sure what the difference is, but we'll harvest a few in a little while. I mean, I could probably harvest this guy right now and see how they taste. They should be good. Here's the grapevine, which I pruned a little bit. So I have one main vine, actually, yeah, two main vines going there, and another one here, and no grapes yet. So somebody tell me, how long does it take before you get a grape? Now this area here where the peas are, I sowed the Romano beans throughout here, but this spot also gets really, really wet for some reason, so nothing's coming up. I've got a few beans over here and a few more over here that I sowed last week. Those came up, so hopefully, since they're up and they're about 6 to 8 inches tall, those will survive. These peas I'm probably gonna harvest here a little bit. I don't even know what kind of peas they were. Label, remember, label your stuff before you plant it. Here's my one and only blueberry that's actually got some blueberries on it. They're still not quite ready. Let me take this off. They're looking nice. So far, so good. Oh, there's one that may be getting ready. Look at that. Can't wait. All right, so now let's go to the backyard garden, see what's cooking back here. Here's the Waltham Broccoli, and we're getting some nice flower heads here, but as you can see on this one, it's starting to get a little yellow, so I think they're going to open up. The weather's been really warm. We've had a lot of rain, but it's been really hot and humid, so I've been trying to keep them cool, and I don't think I've been successful, but it's going to be cool today, so maybe they'll grow a little more. And we got some more beets back here that are doing the same as the other ones, and there's a raspberry plant, but no raspberries on it. They had a few, they kind of just died off. So, but next year maybe we'll get some raspberries. And here's my garlic. I think I showed you this before, but look at the size of that bulb in there. It's a big one. And we got some onions. They're starting to pop out of the ground. More onions. These are red onions and some shallots. Here's a fennel. I threw one fennel in here and it's growing pretty nicely. Yeah, that's a nice fennel. And then we got another a costata romanesco in the container. All male flowers. It's crazy. And here's the okra patch. Or as they say in Georgia, okra. So that's doing nicely. And the some more extra tomatoes that I had. Put them back there. This eggplant is the Listata de Gandia, and it's in a nice container here, and they're doing really nice. So some dill, cucumbers, kale, cabbage, which I think I'm going to harvest tomorrow. Got a nice cabbage here. Yeah, that's a big one. I want to take that one tomorrow. I might take this red one. That red one's not quite ready, and I'll probably take this one. This is a smaller green cabbage. These were delicious. We made stuffed cabbage with them with the last one. It was great. So, and there's the corn. Knee-high by the 4th of July? I don't think so. Yeah, that corn's doing nice. Some of them are small. There's two varieties in here. If I could find the label, I could tell you what they are. We have Bantam Corn. And I forgot what the other one was. I don't see the label, but I have the seeds inside. Yeah, they're doing nice. I still have time. And there's a sweet potato that I stuck in the ground here, and it's doing nicely too. And I'll probably pull these old scallions out. I harvested the flowers off of most of them, got the seeds. Got a lot of seeds. So anyway, that's the garden tour for June 23rd. Hope everybody's having a great summer. And we will see you next time. How about almost as tall as me by June 23? Crazy, right?